What's up, guys? Tim Little here with TacticalBassin. Today is story time. You guys want to hear these stories? You want to hear the good, the bad, the ugly? Well, today is the ugly. This tournament, this big fish that I lost was on my 30th birthday. I had all my buddies there to come to weigh in, and I dropped the ball. Should have walked away with the win and had a big fish at the tournament, but that's the story I'm going to share with you guys today. A little bit of heartache on my 30th birthday. I will forever remember this tournament and that fish. So out here in California, it's summertime, it's July. We have 6-hour tournaments. That's the rules all the way up until fall. You got to have 6-hour tournaments. So I'm going to kind of blow through the beginning of this tournament just so we can get to the giant fish heartache. But right off the bat, throwing a 10XD and I stick a 7-pounder, and we're golden, right? My buddy Wes is with me and we're excited. Fire out there again, I get bit and his rod's in the way. I set the hook, I hit his rod, and I lose a fish. He throws out his jig, sets the hook, fish comes straight up, 6-pounder, dumps it. And right off the bat, it went from great to bad. You know, it's a 6-hour tournament, and big fish in the summertime, you know, you typically get 1 or 2 big bites a day, and you got to capitalize, especially in a tournament situation. So the wheels started to fall off right about there. We fished around this rock pile for a little bit longer, and I catch a couple decent fish, some 2.5, 3-pounders on a jig, but we got the one 7-pounder in there. So it's been a couple hours. We're messing around down south. We decided to come up north to throw some big baits, some glide baits, some topwater. That's actually an MS slammer, some wake baits, and try and fill out our limit with some big fish. We figure that, you know, 24, 25 pounds would be right there to win this tournament, but we wanted to break 30 pounds. So run all the way up. We run, you know, 15 miles or so from where we're at to a little spot I had in pre-fish with some big topwater fish on him. And right off the bat, I throw out the wake bait, and I'm just slow creeping it along, right? Just watching it. And here comes this giant, right? So this thing's just swimming. She comes up and just real nonchalantly just sucks in the back. And I swing, I took it away from her too fast. It was another 7 or 8-pounder, and dropped the ball on that fish as well. So now I'm really frustrated, right? Because I know my buddies are coming to weigh in. I wanna do good. I hadn't fished a tournament on Clearlake in a long time, and settle down, start throwing a frog, and catch a couple. I think a 4 and a 5-pounder. So now we got a 7, a 4, and a 5, and I pick up the slammer again, and I'm making these long casts, and I fire this thing out as far as I can. I'm throwing an 8.5 or 8-foot rod. It was an 806, Dobbs 806, with a Calcutta 400 on it. I was actually borrowing Matt's reel at the time, and I bombed this slammer out, and right at the end of the cast, it sounds like someone did a cannonball on my slammer. Someone just jumped in the lake. A massive blow up, right? I mean, I haven't had very many blow ups like that in my entire fishing career. And I hammer home on this fish, and instantly I know it's a giant. Wes is in the back of the boat. He throws his rod down, he jumps to the front, and I hammer this fish, and it loads up. I can barely turn the handle, and I'm just grinding. And I'm like, Wes, get the net. And I'm trying to get her coming right to the boat. And I'm grinding. Got a couple, 10, 15 yards. She's not head shaking at all. She's coming right at the boat. And here she comes. She opens her mouth, and her mouth just opens up. I'm like, oh, it's a giant. Because I'm not even joking, she's 10 or 11 pounds. She's just massive, right? Would have been one of my top 2 or 3 biggest summer fish ever, right? In a tournament on my 30th birthday, it's game time. I'm grinding her. And you know that, I gotta stop for a second. You know that second right before someone nets it and you kind of give that little extra lift to get the head up, to get the net underneath, to scoop them up? Well, that's what I did. I went to lift as Wes dips the net, and she just kicked on the afterburners, just 2 kicks with her tail, and boom, just blew the whole bait right out the side of her mouth. And sits there, shakes a little bit, and then just swims off. And now I'm just like, that was our shot. That was my 30th birthday fish. That's my 10-pounder in a tournament while my buddies were there. More wheels. I don't know how many wheels are on this vehicle, but all of them have fallen off by now. And we sit down, and Wes is like, dude, that was a big one. And I'm like, yeah, no kidding, that was a big one. You know, I saw it. And there's nothing I could do. I guess I could have loosened my drag a little bit. You know, Matt and I may or may not have had some arguments about that specific fish, because that was the time that I took his advice and I locked down my drag on treble hook baits. And I don't do that anymore. I use a softer rod and I actually play the fish. But so here we are. I think we got a 7-pounder, a 5-pounder, a 4-pounder. I don't know exactly what we have. I know we finished the day out with 24 pounds. We finished in 4th place and should have had well over 30 pounds. So we leave the area where I just lost. All right, I choked on the 7-pounder. I blew out the side of my face on a 10 or 11-pounder. So then we need to fill out our limit. So we pick up a frog and we start going and running toolies. And Wes starts putting on a clinic from the back of the boat. And by clinic, I mean getting bit. By putting the fish in the boat, he did not do. So dude, it's just one of those days that I will always remember, wish I could forget. But you know, 5-pounders just choking the frog. I don't know how you lose fish on a frog. Slamming them, grinding them, and just tail walking and spitting a frog. You know, it is what it is. But this bait right here, this is an MS Slammer. It's a great topwater bait, and having that fish of a lifetime eat on my 30th birthday, when all my buddies were waiting for me at weigh-in, to have the big fish of the tournament. I mean, big fish of the tournament was weighed in. It was only, I had 3rd big fish of the tournament with a 7-pounder, and the other 2 were 7-pounders as well. So we would have blown that out of the water too. Just one of those tournaments. I mean, we all have them, right? We all have those stories where shoulda, woulda, coulda, we could have won the tournament. And I hate telling those types of stories, but the fact that this was on my 30th birthday, all my buddies had driven a couple hours to come hang out. It was my time to shine, and I dropped the ball on it. But you guys, heartache, we all have it. It happens to all of us. You just got to learn from it. But there it is, guys. That's one of my biggest tournament fish that I've ever lost. And I have a couple more stories that will rival that one, but being at my 30th birthday, I will forever remember that fish. Hope you guys liked the story. If you guys liked the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you soon, guys. Have a good one.